the way of being that is the most transcendent of all is this way that comes from seeing yourself as love and only having that to give away. Only having that to give away. Let's say I were to stand up here in front of you and just visualize for a moment that I have an orange. And I take this orange and I squeeze it as hard as I can squeeze it, okay? What's going to come out? Juice. What kind of juice? Orange juice. Apple juice, any chance? Once in a while? Come on, now and then. A little mango juice come out of an orange once in a while? No mistakes, right? Never, no matter what. Next question. Everybody passes. These are easy, okay? Why? When you squeeze an orange, as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? Because that's, not because it's an orange, because that's what's inside, isn't it? On our planet, when you squeeze something, what comes out of it is what's inside. Not too difficult, all right? Does it matter if your mother squeezes the orange? Does it matter what instrument she uses? Does it matter if you just had your period and then you squeeze an orange? Does it matter if your boss squeezes it? How about if your kids do it? Your kids squeeze an orange. Does it matter? Does it matter what time of day? Suppose they do it at noon, all right? How about at 4 in the morning? Does that matter? Whenever you squeeze an orange, the only thing you get out is what's inside, right? No arguments. Same thing works for you. Same principle works for you. It's a principle of the universe, all right? Someone squeezes you. That is, someone puts pressure on you. Someone says things about you that you don't like. Someone puts attention on you, whatever. Your boss says something to you that you don't like. And out of you comes anger. And out of you comes hatred. And out of you comes fear. Or out of you comes stress. Or out of you comes tension. Why? Is it because of your boss? And the way they squeeze you? Never. Is it because of your mother? I mean, she really can be a pain sometimes, right? Is it because of your children? No. What comes out of you always when someone squeezes you is what's inside. This is the vital principle of being a no-limit person. It's so crucial to get this and understand that. That if you have any hatred in your heart for anyone in this world, or any anger, or any fear, or any of those things, it has nothing to do with the rest of the world. It only has to do with what you put inside. Now, how does what gets inside of you get there? That's the key. How does it get there? As you think. Only as you think. You see, there's no anger in the world. There's no stress in the world. There's no tension. It's perfect. We've already established. It's a perfect place. It works just fine. It's all flowing the way it's supposed to flow. The evidence for it is, it is. That's all the evidence you need. Just look around you. Everything out there is a miracle. Everything, including you. There are no mistakes. It's all perfect.
Guys, I got the chills at the top of that.
So simple, yet so profound.
Right? So like, what juice are you putting out? And when he talks about coming from love, you know, if you really use your heart and the thought of love as your guiding force every day when you're in situations, that means being compassionate, understanding that everyone's at a different level of consciousness, at a different level of awareness, a different level of education. So you have to have understanding and compassion and try to come from love as much as possible, because then what will happen is their juice will become your juice. And then when you get squeezed, that's what's going to come out. I just thought that was so profound and so much to kind of think about, right? It's like what is or was your true essence? What have you ended up filling yourself with? And how can we now maybe even squeeze that stuff out and replace it, right?
The thing I'm most convicted by with this is when he talks about with an orange, if your mother squeeze it or your wife or your boss, I feel like I do a good job making orange juice with certain people, but sometimes I'm making some pretty bitter grapefruit juice if it's the wrong person squeezing me,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
we
know?
all have it. And part of it is the story that we're telling ourselves too, right? And we have a clip of that. But Stephen, before we get to that, what do you think?
I mean, I think it makes sense of in terms of like what you experience through your life fills you with your reactions to what you're going to future experience. And it's kind of, if you are filled with fear, then your interactions are going to be fueled by that fear. And just like for you, Maria, when you talk to, it was it for EMDR, where they're like, you are coming from a place of expecting the worst and trying to find the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were exposed so much, that was filling you up with that fear.
Yeah.
And it was making, anytime you were squeezed by anyone, bring out that fear of like, okay, well, let me find the bad person in here. Yeah, I mean, it's cause and effect, really, right? Like, it's just, what you experience frames your mindset for what you're soon to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to be putting out good juice. I want mine to be the best juice ever.
So, like, if I'm full of money and people squeeze me, will I give out money?
Oh my Lord.
I
Move
mean,
on to the next clip.
Maria, I just wanted to know what I was going to put out, so I did my Viome kit. That's going to tell me what I'm putting out.
Have you? Oh,
You know
yeah.
what, though?
I still haven't gotten my results.
To Steven's point, we talk about people who really use their money well and are stewards of money generate more of it, and they share. And I like Dave Ramsey, who's a financial guy, and he talks about the order of your priority with money should be to give, to save, and then to spend. I love that give is the first one he says. And so, to your point, Steven, if you have a wealth of money and you're giving it out like juice, that can be I think a justification of what Wayne Dyer's saying.
I mean, look at Kev. Look at Kev. Kev is all
Exactly.
about helping other people and getting that karmic energy out there, right?
Yeah.
And when Kev's squeezed for things, all he does is help people.
Yeah.
Even at the expense of himself, but at the same time, it also fills him with that karmic positivity.
Yeah. True. I like that. I think, they say that money has like a cycle. So you have to, you have to keep that cycle going. Like you can't just hoard. Like I would be a hoarder if I wasn't with Kevin. I would just hoard I would still have the first penny I made because I come from fear of not having money because we grew up without money. And so, yeah, your experiences in life shape you. And then what we do is we hit a bump in the road and we're like, wait, this isn't working for me anymore. And then you create a podcast to figure out a way to get better. Yeah. And so, I always say everything you want, it's a great quote from, I think, George Adair. It's on my quote wallet in the house. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Mm-hmm. And so you can't really make good decisions from fear for the most part. And so if you can take a second to not react and to think about your response and think, is this coming from a fearful place? And if it is, then you need to try to release it because it's not really guiding you the right way. So, Stephen, let's go to the third clip. You are the story you tell yourself, because I think that is a really good segue into this. And then we can talk about how to calibrate into your inner being last so that your inner being is that orange juice and not, acid or something.